He is 100% worth it.
He takes it to another level. Oh my God, I just fell in love with it.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Blew my mind. And it worked. I wanted to buy my thing.
Jay is, I would say, the Yoda of sales calls, man.
Just talking to Jay, he was so good at just taking what it is, seeing the opportunity and the value and the real reason we are making it.
Talk to Jay, because he got it. He can definitely help you out.
Talk to Jay. You're going to get a lot. You're going to gain a lot.
I would absolutely recommend him for any position that you have.
Jay's definitely the guy.
Give him the chance, give him the opportunity. You won't regret it.
He's good at what he does, so I highly recommend him, and I would book him before he is fully booked out.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Sales Ninja Show podcast, where we cut through the noise, ditch the outdated sales tactics, and show you how to close deals with confidence, strategy, and integrity. I'm Jay Lee, founder of Sales Ninja. If you're tired of chasing leads and handling endless objections, you're in the right place. Here, we do sales differently. We believe in positioning over pressure, where the right people lean in without the need for pushy tactics. And that's the heart of the reverse glass selling method, a kingdom-driven approach built on trust, service, and true connection. Because when you lead with value, sales becomes effortless. And when you sell more, you can give more. This episode of the Sales Ninja Show podcast is proudly sponsored by NSP Payment Solutions. So if you're using Stripe, PayPal, WAP, or any other credit card processor, NSP can help you reduce your processing fees and potentially save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every single month. One client is already on track to save thousands monthly. There is no cost for a savings analysis, and their customer support is world-class. So book a free call today and see how much money you can keep in your business. Today's guest is someone 14 years behind the scenes, helping businesses scale and sell more effectively. His work has touched more than 20,000 businesses across 25 plus industries, with experience spanning from AI acquisition, a $6.8 billion mining merger, and names including Frank Kern, School, Dan Fleischman, John Crestani, and Chase Hughes. He's also ranked in the top 1% of market hire. If you want to understand what it really takes to hyperscale, improve conversion, and build a stronger sales engine, please welcome Jon Weberg. What is up, Jon?
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing amazing. That is quite the achievements and the intro. I feel like you're a hype man.
You are, and that's okay, because we're gonna fulfill what we've promised to the people.
So I think right out the gate, like, I think you were barking. I was like, that's his call.
1 second.
No worries.
My girlfriend's in 1 second. Right when we start, the perfect timing. She's like,
you couldn't have timed it better.
Perfect.
I know you're an AI tech guy. Crisp AI will actually get rid of that noise.
Okay, perfect.
Crisp.ai. Yeah, no worries.
Give 1 second. I will get that. Sorry for that.
No worries. That's the beauty of live podcasting, right? There's things that go
just at the perfect timing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're ready to go.
Awesome. So you've accomplished a lot in a very little time, right? And I want to know if you can kind of, in your personal journey and your entrepreneurial spirit, you describe yourself as the unseen architect behind growth operations, where the world sees the results, but rarely the engine. What does that role actually look like when you're inside a business?
I think mainly it's behind the scenes working, like you've kind of walked through. My past clients are reputable, very well known. So when you're in the operations, you're working between their channels, their departments, working everything from their ads, their sales process, their follow-up. Obviously you're not the front head figure, so you're not seen by the masses. But what it is like day to day is simply being able to and having to manage working with, number one, a lot of people. From teams like AI acquisition, they have over 150 staff, to smaller teams of 10, 15 people, like with Nikhil Sai. It doesn't matter. Usually just working with people day to day. You're constantly in between Slack channels. You're constantly in between email. You're on 5, 10 Zoom calls every single day. And then you're having to full stack understand, again, truly the seams, as I've coined the term, between each channel. Because what most people don't realize truly is everything from AI to AI SEO to your ads, to your sales process, to actual sales conversations, show rates, all the above. Every different aspect of the business affects all these different metrics. So for example, if you have bad AI/AI SEO reputation, that can drastically, for a lot of businesses that are doing book a call or, agencies, consultancies, that can affect their show rate, because after people book a call, they go research, they go learn about you. And if they don't find out the best information or bad reviews, different things, it can affect show rate by 5, 10, 50%. And there's so many different metrics that are affected by the entirety of the rest of the business. So my job in going into people's operations, going into each department, is finding out between each channel what is missing and what is actually having an effect across all these other departments. Because often businesses, say for example, like an agency, will go, hey, our show rates are down. Do we need to text or call or reach out on LinkedIn to our leads more? When they don't understand all these other channels that are having an effect. Like that could be one of the possible solutions, but there's usually 5 or 10 things that are also all affecting singular metrics.
So as a rainmaker and someone who, for lack of better words, waves that magic wand, comes into the business, cleans house and sweeps up the mess and the chaos, it sounds incredible what you're doing. It also sounds that it can be quite messy. Like you said, I think you said AI acquisition has 150 staff.
150 staff, yeah.
That's a big team. Like I've been in an 8-figure company, online health space, where there was 50 people, and that was pretty big, and they were doing like $1 million a month. So when you have 150 staff, what kind of I don't know if you're able to disclose it, but ballpark, what kind of revenue are they doing, and how are you helping them manage the chaos and fix the broken pieces and fill the gaps, if that makes sense?
Yep. So AI acquisition, it's publicly known, so I can disclose it too. They're doing around 60 to $70 million a year.
Yeah.
ARR. And mainly when you're working with a team that big, there's a couple things that are really important, because things get lost. They don't get acted upon very quickly. And this is all types of organizations this happens in. So first of all, when you give, for example, to a sales director or to the CMO a plan or document or path to follow to increase show rates, for example, we make sure every single aspect of what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, the psychology of why it's being done, and who else needs to be involved in this project to complete it and do it perfectly, that is all laid out and given to each and every single person who's responsible for it. So not just as the sales director, understanding and knowing, okay, here's what this project involves, here's what we're going to be working on to improve show rate. Also, all the SDRs are connected to this document or to this plan or to this project, so they also know, okay, not just on the higher level am I being told what to do, I'm seeing my direct involvement and exactly how it's going to affect me in my role. So it's being very clear, concise, and as detailed as possible, and involving everyone that's going to have a touch on it. And that could involve dev team, that can involve, which often it does. There's different things that must be done to make sure everyone's in on the project. They all know what's going on, why it's happening, and the exact changes and the desired effect of what's going to actually happen when we implement, for example, improving show rate or close rates or whatever the case may be.
Wow. So when you have like a company like AI acquisition, that has 150 staff, and I heard you say things like basically be able to define the roles, responsibilities to each person. So if you have 150 people, obviously they're segmented into like departments and stuff like that. So that, are you putting 150 job descriptions together, or are you putting based on department? And then
it's usually based on department, and you're essentially having less involvement with the less of the heads of department, as you are mainly you work with the heads of department. But of course, there's people below them, managers and such, that need to be usually talked through, walk with the proposal. So you also, your job is to also make sure that between who you are reporting with and working with, that they and who they're reporting and working with are also handling their job, their role, just at the same position. So you need to make sure, like I'm saying, that everyone's connected. Everyone knows exactly what's going on from the top of the rung of the ladder to the bottom. Everyone has a clear path on exactly what's being done, because one slice of miscommunication, one slice of, I'm not sure even why we're doing this, causes unnecessary, unneeded back and forth, versus we have this clear goal, we have this concise idea of what we're doing, how we're going to accomplish it, here's what needs to be done. So for example, working with AI acquisition, redesigning and optimizing their CRM and improving show rate included like 3 different documents, around 70 or 80 pages of here's what needs to be done. Here's the exact mock-ups. Here's the UX. Here's the UI behind the CRM itself. Here's how this is integrating with SDRs and how they're texting, calling, emailing each lead, how they're connected with them on LinkedIn, and everything else they're working on too. So it's a lot, and using and integrating with AI is a large part of making things easier for myself, for our team, for their team. That's also a part of it as well. So we just do our due diligence to make sure, and also review everything we do. So, I look over anything we build out 2-3 times, because again, something that's wrong with a workflow, with an automation, different little pieces can mess up the process and make it a lot more difficult later on down the line for the head of sales or anyone else.
So for example, with AI acquisition, with 150 staff, 60 to 70 million ARR, you're creating these, communications, training, SOP documents, how people report to each other, how they communicate. Everyone needs to be super clear, but you got to keep a concise role and responsibility. You also, it sounds like you're providing a custom tech solution. I think you said redesign their CRM.
Yep. What we did with them was, because most CRMs, and this can go from everything from to go high level to ClickFunnels to HubSpot to you name it. They have the ability, not all of them, but around 50 to 40% have the actual ability to do the deep level automations that are necessary to convert at the highest level imaginable. So that already takes usually about 50% of them out of the market. And I won't say which, we could say which ones, but there's many that just don't have the ability to do what you need to truly have the highest performing sales team imaginable, to really get the most LTV and growth conversions possible. So what we did, also because they happen to have a dev team that custom builds, they have their own custom built CRM called Acquisity, is we wanted to make sure that SDRs had such a clear view and dashboard. So when an SDR, someone who's closing for a sales team, jumps into their day, they wake up, they have their coffee, they slam 2 energy drinks, they're going to get on these calls. We want to make their role as happy, as exciting, as simple as possible. Because with closing and doing sales between calls, especially if you are inundated and managing calls back to back to back, you don't have time to do your admin. You don't have time to make notes on every single person. If you do, it gets depleting on your mind. Like I told you before we talked, I used to do, I was the head sales consultant for Frank Kern, and he sent an email. We're fully loaded for weeks because he has such a large email list and a great reputation. Shout out Frank Kern. And it gets overwhelming often. So my role and job is to not just make it easier for example, a sales team to operate day to day, but also, of course, to automate, systematize as much as we can, and to improve, of course, show rate and close rate. So we custom built and optimized their CRM around all the other things I know in marketing and lead gen and speed to lead to make sure that their SDRs and their sales team and also the sales director and sales manager are easily able to see everything they need to know, who's live on calls, who's not live on calls, sales that need to be, or leads and prospect that need to be contacted immediately because they just booked a call, because they have booked a call but haven't paid. So it was a lot more precise and exact CRM with much more detail, but also organized in a way that makes it clear on, I log in, I see exactly my calls for the day, my leads, what those leads are valued at. And it was just such a good rebuild, because in any organization, you know, your sales team is the life and blood. Leads are brought in, also the life and blood, and the sales process of converting those leads is the second life and blood. And to optimize that is one of the biggest levers for growth a business usually has, especially for profitability. You know, increasing show rate and close rates by small percentage points, especially for larger organizations, makes a giant difference in their bottom line.
That's amazing. In the 8-figure online fitness business, when I came in, there was a team of 50 people that I was sharing with you. And, you know, that group that you're working with, AI acquisition, much bigger, 3 times bigger team, 150 people. The show rates were pretty abysmal. They were like 30%-ish, which is really low. And as a sales closer, you know, when you have like 10 calls booked and 7 of them don't show and only 3 people show, you just wasted like, you know, hours and hours and hours, and you just feel like, what a waste of time. So I helped implement a show rate process within a week, and increase their show rate to about 90 to 94%.
Nice.
So it tripled their sales without even increasing their close rate. So they hit their first $1 million month because of that. One question I have for you, because I heard you say show rates quite a bit, and, you know, like you said, even if you can increase that amount and the sales reps are not even changing their close rates, it can really grow and scale their sales.
Yes.
What are some sales tips or some marketing, you know, hacks that you have to help increase show rates that you've used that have worked for you?
I think mainly speed to lead is one of them. So if you take a look at some of the more larger scale businesses as well, like Hyros, like Seamless Acquisition, and many others, I actually tested and walked through and worked with Seamless when I was learning on more and more, this is years ago, about research and like, how do I, you know, continue learning myself how to grow businesses. And one of them was, I got a call within 30 seconds of booking a call with Seamless. Hyros is the exact same way. So speed to lead of calling, connecting, and just building that initial trust and knowing there's a real human will increase show rates, because instead of someone booking a call and then 5 days, 3 days, 7 days, 2 weeks later, you having connection with them, if you can call them within 30 seconds, they're also at their highest emotional moment, ready to actually work with you. They're booking a call because they want to talk to you as soon as possible in most cases. So being able to reach them as soon as possible is important. Along with this, also omni-channel. So reaching out and connecting with leads who book a call, for example, or who buy a product and service to upsell, downsell them, resell them, from not just calling them, but SMS and also email and also LinkedIn. 3 to 4 touch points in having omnichannel is going to increase show rates, and also these things also affect close rates as well. So those are 2 things that immediately can be done to any floor to immediately affect the growth of the business through show rates and close rates.
So I think you're referring to one company, Seamless, Seamless.ai. Is that who you're referring to?
Yes. I went through their sales process and I was impressed by their
Okay,
follow-up.
interesting. When I was working with a business growth consultant that helped Brandon scale when he was first starting out, and he, like, I don't know, 10, 15x in a very short time. So are you saying that when you call the lead, is they call you or email you or DM you quickly? And how was your experience? Just to kind of give us an example of Hyros or Seamless.
Yeah, it has such an impression. You immediately go, I just hit the button to book a call with them. And again, within usually 30 seconds to 2 minutes, you get a call from them.
Really?
And then on their thank you page, for example, with Hyros, on their thank you page, within 30 seconds of watching their thank you page video, it says, make sure you talk to the person who reaches out to you, they will be reaching out to you right now. So as someone, it makes a seamless experience, which is what you want. You want a personalized, custom, and seamless experience for every lead, every customer. That's what they went through. You literally go, I'm watching a video saying someone's going to reach out to you. You get a call. It's literally the person instantly from booking a call. So it is great to receive as someone looking to buy product and services. So businesses looking to increase show rates, increase close rates, do this because it can only impress. It's mostly only as long as the call goes good and you're simply, again, not pitching. They never pitch right away. They simply make a connection, build trust. And making that connection and building trust gives you an impression and go, okay, I really should show up to this call. They actually care, which is the main element of what people are missing is people who are booking a call with you, they want to build like, know, and trust with you and with the company they're dealing with. And every element along that path needs to build like, know, and trust. And the more you can focus on like, know, and trust, that is when you have high show rates, high close rates, great brand reputation, etc., automatically, because that's what people care about when buying from you. Mistrust is why they don't buy. If they trusted you, most likely they would buy from you.
Now, when people are calling you, like you said, within like that short time while you're watching the video, is it AI or is it a real person?
It's a real person. That's the big difference too, and it's not VAs. VAs, which you could use, it does work, but the best impression is someone, even if it's a single person on a team or SDR team, constantly calling all new and fresh leads coming through who are booking a call. You can have a single person doing this, or again, when SDRs, people who are on sales teams, are not actually on their calls, if they're actively calling people right away as soon as they can, when they're not on calls, who are booking calls with them, if you're calling them as soon as you can, even if it's 15 minutes, some kind of touch point in realness and genuineness and connection, that is what is going to get people to show up and want to actually buy from you.
So you're integrating that into the sales process. So if they're like watching a VSL or like a book a call that says, hey, thanks for booking, of our team members is going to be calling you within the next 15 minutes or whatever. And so be available, make sure you're, in front of a computer with strong internet, and we're going to just share with you what to expect on the call or whatever. Is it going to be like that?
Essentially that, and also reaching a little bit deeper. Number two, making sure they hit yes on the email, because people who hit yes on the email they receive. So example, like, let's say this was the call and we're going back and forth. I call you, say, hey, is this Jay? Yeah, this is Jay. Well, I just saw you booked a call with us. I just wanted to get to know you a little bit better. Tell me more about your business, what you're working on, and just learn about you, if that's okay. You have just a light, warm, normal conversation. And then during the conversation, you go, and I was wondering if it's okay with you, would you just possibly go to your email now and hit yes? If you for sure do feel like you really do want to speak with us, you really are ready to move forward. Is it okay? Could you do that now with me now so I can see that on my end? And I just want to make sure that we actually connect, because from what you've told me, just in this, getting to know you a little bit, which I appreciate your time on, I think we definitely could help you out. And I would love to do that with you together. So could you do that for me, please? And
so when you say email, the email is after like a booking, and then the booking is emailing you to confirm, and then you're asking that person to reply yes on the email?
Yes, just hit yes, because then it confirms it in their calendar. It changes what it looks like in their calendar. And it shows also email, for email deliverability's sake, for email providers, that they're engaging with the email itself. And it forces them to actually go to their inbox, go to the email, click it open, at least take a look at it. So it increases email deliverability, which will also increase show rate and close rate. And it gets a higher close rate because, okay, yeah, sure, I can go to my email and check out that. Oh, what's it from? Oh, it's in my spam folder. Oh, it's in my promotions folder. Oh, it is in my inbox. It's right there. Yep, I hit yes. Okay, great. I really appreciate that. And again, if you have any other questions, you can text me anytime, call me anytime. I know we have a call on Wednesday, but I just wanted to reach out, get to know you, and I'm really excited to see you on Wednesday. Just like that. Warm, concise, real, just yourself. And that is also, again, from my own strategy, what I did with Frank, and in general, when I talk to people, as like we talked on the phone, just being yourself and warm and genuine. And when people can feel feel what you're saying, not just hear you, but feel what you're saying. It has the biggest difference on all sales conversations, partnership conversations, any conversation with anyone. That is the biggest indicator of trust building, because often people are speaking, but you sense people's bullshit-ometer can sense every little thing that is not genuine. And they may not say it. Most likely, and most of the time, they never say it. They'll simply just go, yeah, I'll be on the call for sure. Don't worry about it. And then they don't show up.
Yeah. So I like what you say. People can feel what you say, and that's trust building. And people have a BS-ometer. I love that term. The interesting thing is when you talk about that initial call that's warm and genuine, that is the touch point to build the know, like, and trust factor. How long is that reach out for?
Essentially up to the call point. Now you want to stagger it. So initially the first call you want, and first text, either immediately within 30 seconds to 5 minutes of someone booking a call, and or also purchasing. It could be e-com. Someone purchasing a product, you have an SDR reach out, build connection. Later on, they follow up to get them to buy other e-com products. So between, let's say it's a week out, you want SMS a little less frequently than email, because SMS is more personal. I would do SMS usually day they book the call, and then maybe every other day after that. Hey, we have a call in 2 days. If you need help, want to talk to someone live to ask questions about this live call, or want to see what we've done with past clients before, here's also a link to all the resources, everything we've done before. Bring them a lot of social proof. Bringing people also large amounts of very clear, very concise social proof before they get to the call is also great for increasing show rates and close rates. So I would suggest email. You can email daily, have email automations daily. And then, of course, 1 hour to 5 minutes before the call as well. Also with SMS, you can do 1 hour, 5 minutes before a call, like your SMS that I got for this call itself, which was excellent and on point. And then also connecting on LinkedIn and social media platforms, again, every other day for that touch point. The more personal it is, the less you want to intrude and scare them off. And the more you want to be more gentle, nonchalant, relaxed, just warm. Because again, the entire market is so inundated with being spam, being closed, trying to be hard sold, that what actually works better is much less of volume and much less more of just quality, being real, being yourself, and showing up in a natural way, how people naturally talk.
When they do that touch point where they're getting a hold of them within the first, let's say, 30 seconds to 5 minutes, how long is that quick call, that quick conversation?
I would say 3 to 5 minutes. It's brief, it's short, but it's warm. You don't want to, however, ensure actually it's below a certain point for various reasons. One, for doing cold outbound, to ensure that calls are going through not being registered as spam, you want to make sure you have a longer call time. Also, just for trust building, you want a longer call time. So depend on how busy the SDR or person doing sales' schedule is. Longer conversation, the better, as long as you can reach out to the number of leads as well in an appropriate time. So 3 to 5 minutes, just being warm, asking a couple questions, maybe diving a little bit deeper into one of them is going to be fantastic. And I think just in general, again, warmth, authenticity, and making sure you're, if possible, this is another quick note, popping up and gathering, depending on who the customer or lead is, information about them and understanding and reading that off to them live. So say, for example, Jay booked a call on my calendar. I would then, if possible, and again, how fast and how to automate this is important, pop up Jay's podcast. And on the call, when I called Jay to work with us, I'd say, Jay, you have a podcast? How's that going? I saw you book a call with us. I can't wait for our call on Thursday, but I just wanted to get to know you and just ask a couple questions about you, if that's okay. And you'd be like, yeah, I have a podcast, blah, blah, blah. So you have a warm, actual, personalized, real touch point. And the more you can automate this, of course, for someone doing sales, the easier it is. And the more, again, you're going to get a better reaction, higher show rate, higher close rate.
That's brilliant. It's genius. Everything you're saying, I resonate with and I agree with. Does a system that you create allow the SDRs, when they're making their first touch point within, let's say, the first 30 seconds to 5 minutes, to automate some research that does research on the LinkedIn or on their socials that says, hey, these are some talking points. Here's 3 talking points.
We've automated with LinkedIn. We haven't done it with websites. We want to start doing it. That's something that I would recommend people do, is do it with websites, because a lot of people nowadays have websites, especially if you're dealing with B2B. They're gonna have a website. Pulling their website and having Claude or other AI tools research, like you're saying, exactly that, 2 to 3 to 5 main touch points. And it could be, again, not business wise or how you're trying to sell them, but just personality driven podcast. They love soccer, etc. And a light notice and hint of that gives the prospect an instant little light bulb, because it's something they recognize and do and focus on and love in their life, that's separate from them thinking about the sales conversation that they're going to have with the salesperson. You don't want them in that mindset. You want them in light, joy, like they're talking to a friend, friendly, and that is what resonates. That is what gets people to buy, because your job, I say, is like really never to sell. You are having the prospect sell themselves because they love, like, know, and trust you. They love, like, know, and trust your product and service, and they like know, and trust what you're saying to them and how you're saying it to them. If you do that, you're doing 90% of what's needed to actually close people.
Amazing. So I think I heard you say that you do automated market research from LinkedIn. What is your software stack? Are you using Claude? Are you using a lead generation software? Are you using kind of all the above?
Primarily Claude. Claude is from our testing, usually the best. Just because they have some stuff they're doing like ethically in the market we really like, refusing to do, I won't go too much in depth, but they're doing things ethically in terms of like with governments and different things, and with data. They're doing a little bit better job, we think, than like other tools and resources, and they just have worked well. Once you've built out on, for example, Claude, moving to another one isn't always the easiest, depending on how intricate your tool stack is and what you're using. So Claude's great, and there's other tools and resources you can use for this that will instantly draw and research information on a prospect, or at least quickly enough so that even if it's not instantaneous, even if you manually grab their website, put it in Claude, or even grab their website, put it in your browser, read quick. Oh, okay, on the call, you have some kind of personal information. And again, this is generally for most salespeople and people who are doing selling of any kind, a lot more than most businesses, SDR salespeople do. Even having probably opened their website and learning about them, or their Facebook. Just look up their name, Jay Lee, Facebook. Okay, I have a face. Someone who does sales, or someone who's involved with growing businesses. There's only probably 1, maybe maximum 2 Jay Lees that actually do that on Facebook. I could probably find a connection very quickly without having to even use an AI tool if I wanted to. But AI, of course, automating it is, of course, the best path to work with.
And when you're doing this research on the prospects, which I absolutely love, and which, like you said, increases the show rates and the close rates. You said you're using Claude. So are you connecting it to for example, Go High Level CRM to say anytime an SDR gets on, let's say I have 8 calls, and for each 8 calls, it kind of gives me, whether it's in the notes or in sort of like the intake form, saying, yep. It does that all automatically.
It updates the notes, and what it usually does is it enriches whether it's via phone number or usually it's there, I have email, but it's usually their phone number or finding a LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is connected with Apollo, with Seamless, with so many, and Sales Navigator, other things. That's one of the best pull points to pull from. So it pulls from usually LinkedIn and then does more research if needed. What you want to do is essentially shorten the path of what the AI needs to do to get the actual end result of a useful note. So if they don't have a fulfilled, enough information on their LinkedIn, then you can do a second touch point to look them up on Facebook, look them up on Instagram. But mainly going through LinkedIn is one of the main best ways, especially if you're more primarily B2B in most cases.
Amazing. I know we spent a lot of time on that. That was a deep dive. Thank you for doing that. Maybe even on a part 2, we could have like a demo of a CRM that you created that shows this. And I don't know if selling that CRM? I know we touched lightly about that different system.
Not
that you
quite
had.
yet, but soon.
Okay. Because I can see, I'm a visual learner, and as a scaling consultant, I'm like, there's probably like 100 companies that could use this, that'd be willing to pay you. Right?
A lot of money. Absolutely. And that's why it's a part of what we're working on. Like I mentioned before, we talked, there's the partnership aspect where we do kind of the services and stuff of what I've been walking through. And what we want to do is essentially automate all of that work that we do so that we can plug into a business and go, okay, here's how we instantly increase show rate, close rate, etc. by plugging in a tool and CRM that is sophisticated enough. The problem is they're very difficult to build and take a lot of time and money, but sophisticated enough that it can handle doing all these things and do it accurately and do it consistently at a precise enough level that it is making a meaningful impact in the business.
Amazing. So I know that you also do incredible work with Profitalize, and for people who understand what that means or what that what your business does, I'm going to just pull up a screen just to kind of like show a visual, and if you can just walk through, what it is that you do, what your offer is, how you help people, and you can tell me where to go on this awesome site. That'd be awesome.
So if you go to the partnership, you can scroll down, up and down a little bit as I'm explaining, then go to the top and go to the explore the partnership. Essentially what we do with Profitalize is we take everything I've learned working with, again, whether it's Dan Fleshman and the clients he refers our way. Thank you, Dan Fleshman. Shout out to you. Or John Crestani, Chase Hughes, whether it's Chase Hughes' website or John Crestani's emails. What we've learned is there are seams between each channel in each department of a business that most business owners don't see, that most businesses don't even know exist because they're so inundated working on the business, focusing on meta ads, focusing on email, focusing on sales. They don't see the connections between them and the things between them that affect all of the other channels of the business. So we go in, usually partnering with a business. We do either do it yourself, done with you, or done for you variations of here is exactly what you need to do across your ads, your sales process, your follow-up, your customer retention, your email marketing, your full stack and all channels and all stacks within your business. Here's what must be done if you want to hyperscale. Because the main differences between businesses growing and not growing, say there's an AI acquisition that's doing $10 million a year. There's an AI acquisition that's doing $1 million a year, and there's one that's doing $20,000 a month. The difference between them is the growth of these metrics that define their business in each channel. And then what defines the growth of those metrics is the differences in these seams and what's being implemented in their business. So there's literally a definable number of changes that can be made to a business to grow it to X amount in sales. Our job is finding those exactly and going, what is the shortest path for you to increase this metric with the least amount of effort possible? And either telling you exactly how to do that or doing that ourselves. To put it more simply, is an omni-channel growth of your business across the most important metrics that will increase your revenue in the shortest amount of time with the largest impact, which usually includes show rate, close rate, conversion rates. Customer retention is the king of all ROI. Upsellability, your offer stack. I actually thought about this recently. I was at the store with my girlfriend, and Prime Energy. You can go to the partnership page if you want, right there on the black button. Prime is an energy drink built by Logan Paul. They now expanded their offer stack from energy drink to protein shake. So one of the best verticals of growing existing businesses to scale is actually changing simply their offer stack and adding another offer to what they're doing. So not just doing energy drinks, they can go to bars, like protein bars. They can go to shaker cups. They can go to, so adding offers upon how you already serve customers is another one of the most impactful ways to grow a business. So essentially, again, summarizing quickly and concisely, we find the largest areas of growth within every channel and either give you the strategy exactly, like I mentioned with AI acquisition, on who needs to be involved, the tools, resources that need to be involved, and what needs to be done to make this change happen as fast as possible, or we can actually do that and run those changes for you to grow your business together. And again, we work with people like Dan Flushman refers his clients. He referred us to Anthony Morrison, who we work with, from John Crestani, who we manage his email and his affiliate marketing, to AI acquisition, building out their sales process and CRM, because different businesses have different aspects of what they haven't perfected and optimized yet. They have different seams that need to be worked on. So everything we do is custom to your exact business, because while your product and services now you serve people is most likely, as we estimate, very similar to all the businesses across the world, the tens of thousands of agencies, most of them have very similar ways they help businesses grow. What defines whether the business gets to scale to their next figure is those seams between that we work in. And yeah, we just love working with clients. Of course, we work with everything from tire companies to people like Frank Kern. I told you his head sales consultant. We installed the downsell for him, to people who sell supplements. It doesn't matter. We love working with businesses, and I've been doing it since I was 13. So it's a second generation thing that my dad got me into very, very young.
What did you do at 13?
Trust me, it wasn't that crazy. I had a gaming blog, and it sounds, it was small. It was just a little gaming blog, but I was generating subscribers. I was driving traffic. I was emailing my leads. I was doing the very, very, very basics.
At 13?
At 13, yeah. And I actually taught and brought that process to school. I talked to my teacher, and like the kids were excited, like, you have a blog? They didn't know what a blog is, because kids at 13 shouldn't know what a blog is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I have a gaming blog. Can we have a day? Can we have a whole entire day of building blogs? My teacher's like, yeah, sure.
What?
So I've been persuading people since I was, a young teen. So we had a whole day, and some of the blogs, I hate to report, were better than mine.
Wow.
Yeah. So since a young age, like, I've been working with selling to people. I think 15 or 14, I had my first $1,000 sale, and that was like my high ticket back then. My dad and I, who are business partners in the affiliate marketing businesses we've ran, he told me, son, we have a prospect calling. He wants to buy the $1,000 package. Give him a call. You're shaking. You're like, oh no, I don't know what to say, how to say it. But even back then, what resonated was the guy went, you didn't answer most of my questions. I can tell you're nervous, but you actually seem like you care about me. So I'm going to buy. And I was like,
wow,
you are? you are?
Wow.
He's like, yeah, you seem real. And that,
so phone call, not even Zoom.
No, just a phone call, call him up, cold call. He has no idea who I am. I'm some 14, 15-year-old kid going, hey, you had some questions? How can I help you?
How do you get them to pay back in that time with the phone?
I would just direct them to like the actual sales page. So we had an affiliate offer. It was a sales page for that high ticket offer for $997. I simply just went, hey, because he told me, yep, I want to buy from you. You seem like you actually care. I'm like, well, I do. I am nervous. That's the honesty too, of like, I am nervous. I don't know exactly what I'm saying, but I believe in what we're actually doing. So I'm like, yeah, just basically go ahead and go to the sales page there, go through checkout. And if you have any questions as you're going through, any problems, just give me a call back, I guess. I don't know exactly what I said, but it was simply just go to the sales page that you have there, because it was a public sales page that affiliates could promote. And yeah, it's been. So
you were closing them on the phone and waiting for them, or you would just leave them with the link?
He had the link in front of him from email.
Yeah.
And then I would just tell him to go back to the email, go to that link, purchase from that link. And he did end up going through, I think his name was Ray.
Wow. You remember that from 13 years old?
I might be wrong, but it was like, I don't know if I can say his last name. I think it starts with the SH. Ray something. I'm guessing. I could be entirely wrong, but I think that popped in my head a little bit. I could be wrong though.
That's so cool. At 13 or 14, you're closing, not $1,000 deals, right?
Yep.
I just noticed this on your landing page. I didn't realize before, but I think you're saying on your website, 2x guaranteed by contract to return at least 2 times your fee. So whatever they invest, you're going to double that. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep. We double it guaranteed, because just again, from the breadth of what we've done before, especially for example, with Frank or AI or any of these different companies, there really are just these minute seams, little differences, these little things that can be done for speed to lead, for close rates, for checkout cart conversions, for calling all buyers and saying, hey, we have a new offer. We've expanded our offer stack. I think we could help you. Would you talk to us, or like, there's so many little things that can be done within a business that can make such an ROI difference and inject profit into a business. So we have no problem making that guarantee with, there are specific cases where we wouldn't, if they're below a certain revenue level. And like, if it's very, very difficult, if someone has no existing business of any kind, which we usually don't even work with clients like that for like the partnership offer. But otherwise, in general, most are clients, so we can do that. And most clients, we do that within like 15 to 20 days.
You mean the return?
Yes.
Organic or paid ads?
Both, depending on their lead flow. So if they have a somewhat consistent lead flow and depending on their revenue level, we can get a guaranteed return. For example, sometimes just with email. I mean, like the John Custani example with email, we're making them between $9,000 and $21,000, within that range. Every week, 15 weeks, he had a dead email list. He hadn't emailed in 2 years.
What?
My dad and John Custani emailed back and forth for, I think, 2 or 3 years. He used to be a large ClickBank affiliate, one of the largest on the platform. And like I said, I've watched a lot of the people growing up and then ended up working with them. So John Custani had this email list. He had no one managing it. He emailed back. My dad was like, hey, we can do a deal, but I need someone to manage my email list. Who can do it? And he's like, well, my son and I, my son can handle it for you. So I talked with John. I eventually had some more impact on his business. Again, we did some affiliate marketing director type position with him, and I did some promotions with him. But yeah, just from his email list, there's things that you can do just with the email list that most businesses, even larger, don't broadcast regularly. They're not split testing headlines. They're not split testing CTAs. They're not doing advanced segmentations between activity of leads, non-activity of leads. They're not cleaning their list regularly. There's different things you can do just email lists, where again, we can make someone like John Custani, 10,000 larger, more active email marketing databases, 50,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars just in email alone. Again, it depends on the business. This isn't every case. And I tell people that it's not every case that we can just go, yeah, we can make you $300,000 just from email in like a few days. But in some cases, for example, if they're at large enough scale, getting someone like Jon Castani at the time, who was charging between $5,000 and $25,000, getting him from email between, let's just say, 5 to 15 more book calls per week. That's, let's just say, 20 to 60 or so book calls that month at a 30% conversion rate. You're getting tens of thousands of dollars every week like clockwork.
That's insane. Now, how big is the email list for someone like John?
Jon Castani, and again, some of the leads were old, dead.
Yeah.
Some of the leads were fresh coming in.
Yeah.
It was a real mixture because most email lists have not been properly managed and operated with for years. But I believe the email list was like 20,000 or 18,000 leads.
Wow.
But again, some were dead, some were old. It was a real mixture.
Right.
Which is okay with us because, again, we segment and want to work with the engaged leads first. Then you work with the less engaged to get them to get engaged and move them down the sales pipeline, but via an email pipeline.
Let's talk about the opportunity that people have. And you can call out your ICP because the better you can outline that, and for people watching or listening to the podcast, they can be like, hey, that's me. I'm in that criteria. And we have a special affiliate link where they can book a call with you on profitalize.com/partner !ref equals J-E. So what is it? Who are the people that you're looking for that you're calling out that would be the ideal clients for you guys?
Ideal clients are people that have a consistent, regular lead flow. It can be from organic, it can be via paid leads. Secondly, we prefer if you're either doing primarily high ticket or large volume, low ticket. Because again, what we're able to do with via high ticket and or large scale volume, low ticket is inject via, like I said, via partnerships, via offer stacking, via just optimizing your schemes in your business is we're able to make you a lot of money very fast. And of course, then automate, systematize that, and work with you long-term as well. So primarily, one, you have to have consistent lead flow. You have to have an established business, and I don't mean in terms of you need to be doing $70 million a year like AI acquisition or $20 million a year. Although we prefer larger scale clients because we can make an even more impactful, larger scale result on the back end. What I mean by this is you have consistent lead flow.
Mm-hmm.
You are building your email list. You have the engine in place, and you want to scale and grow and hyper optimize this engine to bring you to your next figure. That is essentially what we do. Is we take your engine and go, well, you have like I'm not like a big car guy, but you have, let's just say, whatever vehicle it is that's like your dream vehicle. Let's just say you have a version of that from 10 years ago. We want to bring it to the newest, most recent, best version of that possible. And that is done through the metrics and growing the metrics of your business. That again, there's variations of your business that if speed of lead, close rate, and maybe even just for some businesses, email marketing were changed by 20% higher, 10% higher, it would make your business hyperscale. Because most businesses, a lot of them are operating at such low profit margins, it doesn't take that much to really start growing them faster. It is just these small changes, again, to sales process, to lead gen, to email marketing, to all their channels of their business. A few select things can mean a huge difference. And that's what we work with. Because again, we've worked with so many different businesses at so many different levels. I worked with recently, I wouldn't say recently, maybe 6 months ago, a local sauna company called C-Tree Barrel Saunas. They sell barrel saunas. We charge them.
They sell what?
Barrel saunas. Like barrel shaped saunas. That's it.
Barrel shape. I didn't catch the last part.
Like a barrel, like on a pirate ship.
Yeah.
Saunas. They're in that shape. That's it.
What's the last word you're using?
Sauna. Like
sauna.
Yeah, a sauna. Sorry, yes, that's my accent. Yeah, sauna.
Barrel-shaped sauna. How like those giant ones.
Yeah, they're big.
How do they fit in there? You're talking about,
yeah, they're giant, custom built.
Yeah.
Shout out C-Tree. And from working with them, and they're a local business, we don't do a lot of local business work, but we will, if it makes sense for them and us. But from them to, like I said, I've worked with supplement companies. We've worked with multiple different types of industries. I'm like I think it's like 20 plus industries. Yeah. And that makes us actually more equipped than most other businesses. And you want someone, again, you could work with anyone. You want to work with people who have worked in multiple other industries, because in working in different industries and at different price points and levels, we've learned all these different small little things across all of them that other business models, like other consultants, other agencies, other people who do similar things that we do, they don't see because they just work in coaching. So you're in the coaching world. You only know the coaching strategies and tactics. You haven't worked in e-com. You haven't worked in local businesses. You haven't worked in all these other things that you can pull from this experience to bring towards, because I worked in this industry, if you do this, you're going to see a huge difference down the line. Like Pathos Communications, I think I mentioned this to you. I think I messaged you. As a recent client of ours.
Yeah.
And with Pathos, they weren't using things like Klarna and Afterpay. So this is an instant close rate increaser instantly for the business. I'm sure we just had the call literally today. This call today should increase their close rate from whatever it is, I won't be specific, to another 10, 50% higher, if not more. And that's not even that's for qualified leads, not counting unqualified leads. So these different things can grow a business really, really fast with that's one single change just with payment processing. I'm going to have a meeting and work with their sales director on their actual sales calls, which will increase, let's say, another 5%. And then we have some things to do with email. We're working on their thank you page. There's each of these different things for a business, 5%, 5%, 5% here and there, will grow them from, again, this is public information, from $15 million a year right now to $20, $25 million a year. It has that potential, especially with all of the changes unified and working in one.
What was that number that you went from before and after, and who was that for?
So right now, Pathos is around, I believe, $15 million a year.
Yeah.
So if their close, I'm just throwing out numbers. Let's
Yeah.
say the close rate is 15%, 20%,
Yeah.
which is industry average.
Yeah.
If we get 15, 20% to 25, 30% alone,
Yeah.
via 3 or 4 changes we're working on, just for qualified leads, the difference in revenue is substantial.
Oh yeah, 100%. Those micro optimizations, the 5% bumps here, 5% bumps there, and let's say you go from 15 to 30%, you're doubling
the size of the business.
million to $30 million business. That's huge. Man, I can keep going, but we're already at the hour mark, so I want to respect your time. We're going to go into what's called a lightning round.
Okay.
And it's whatever answer comes to your mind when I ask you the question. And the last question that I ask for every one of my podcast guests is, what does it mean for you to sell more, to give more? As a sales ninja, as a former pastor, former introvert, I didn't do pastoring for the money. And as someone who has been a servant leader, I'm always trying to give as much as away, but we need to be able to sell more and get the money to be able to use that and spread that love and use the resources to, activate more passion projects. So lightning round, first question for Jon Weberg is, one sales habit every entrepreneur should develop.
100% authenticity. Being so passionate, so real, that everything you do is felt through communication. And every conversation you have in business, not in business, will change drastically because everyone can feel exactly what you're saying, unconsciously and consciously. When you get that ick feeling about someone, you're like, I don't know what it is. There's something to it. I'm not sure. That is what that is there's some kind of authenticity inside that is being represented in the outside world that people can sense and tell. So that makes a huge difference.
Best morning routine to close more sales.
I personally dive into coffee. I dive into an energy drink, and honestly, sleep well, energy drink up, and internal world, you have to be excited. You have to be genuinely not, yes, I'm ready to go on the call. Yeah, I'm going to call. You have to be genuinely excited. It can be difficult, which we're bringing to real quickly. I know this is speed rounds. Making your day-to-day as simple and effortless as possible. Your calls, and that's like setting up CRMs in different ways of how your actual activity is for each activity you're doing, making that simple, effortless, easy.
And you said energy drink. What's your energy drink of choice? Just out of curiosity.
I like Gorilla Mind. Shout out Gorilla Mind. Sponsor me.
Gorilla who?
Gorilla Mind. It's a smaller brand. It's a smaller brand. They do some things with nootropics and different things.
Okay.
I got hooked at a local store here. They're starting to get into bigger stores. Gorilla Mind, sponsor me.
I had Cole Vandy on my podcast just before you. He has launched and he's sold about $550 million in sales from copywriting, email marketing, and also car sales. Actually, a guy that you should connect with. He's launched a product brand for focus drink called Sorin, Sorin. And he said it's used in Rome in thousands and thousands of years ago. That word is not really used. And it's to help you to find the source of life, which focus. And so it's got nootropics. It's got all sorts of, there's no caffeine. Agave versus stevia. Yeah, I think you'd be very interested, especially because, you're a person of high energy, high performance. Speaking of which, what is your number one biohack?
Biohack of all time is difficulty because I do some things. I have what I call John juice. I make
John juice.
Yeah, everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's a conglomeration of caffeine, which does help. Caffeine and almost like a multivitamin. Also, there's vitamins and minerals and different things you can do, like you're saying, like the brand you talked about, that help with producing energy and that make your mind alert. I want my mind as alert and clear as possible.
Yeah.
But I just changed my answer. Carnivore. Eating carnivore, less carbs and very clean. For me personally, especially if I eat carnivore straight, my mind is 10 out of 10. Like today, I had caffeine, I ate clean. My mind is precise, on point. I can speak. It's like my brain is Superman. So eating very clean, high protein, very low carb with caffeine plus fasting, just like that, it will make your mind just powerful.
So carnivore, is that what you're saying? Carnivore diet, like just eat meats?
Just meat, eggs, cheese.
And sorry, meat and cheese?
I do a little bit of cheating on a carnivore. Hard carnivores eat beef, salt, and pepper. That's it. I do all types of meat, eggs, cheese. I don't mind a carb from a little bit of cheese here and there. It's okay. Carnivores, if you watch this, I'm sorry, but cheese is acceptable. It comes from the meat you eat from. It's fine.
That's right. That's true. So any kind of meat, and then you say less carbs?
Less carbs in general, lower carb amount as possible. And again, I'll go off on a binge and I'll eat half or an entire pizza on a Saturday night with some friends or my
girlfriend. You try to remove bread, rice, pasta.
No bread, no rice, none, zero. No sugar either. Zero. I don't drink pop. In general, I don't eat, in most cases, unless I'm with my girlfriend, I usually don't eat sugar of any kind.
Okay, awesome. The biggest follow-up mistake that you see?
Not using variations of follow-up. So I spoke in Budapest at Affiliate World on variations of follow-up. So I don't just follow up with, we have a really good deal, we have a discount, we have a really good. I'll follow up with a custom 5 to 6 different VSLs to hit a different angle of how people relate and communicate. So one will be social proof driven. One VSL and one sales page in a follow-up sequence, say it's email, just social proof. The next one I send them is going to be everyone has like their general sales page. You have that. We already know that. You have your general sales page, you split test. Excellent. But you need variations. One social proof only. The next one is just storytelling. I want to tell you the story of who I am, what I've done, and why I obsess over my customers. Now, what you do is you create 5 or 6 variations of this, of social proof, your main one, your story, and you expand. So you have 5 or 6 of the main pain points and pleasure points and reasons of trust or mistrust in your business. And what happens is you relate in follow-up in email marketing, especially, also SMS and other variations, but you relate with what people care about. Some people care about, yes, show me your travel. Some people care about, show me the social proof and client testimonials. Some people just want a real message from a real human being about who you are and why you actually give a damn about your customers. By hitting all of these in follow-up, you're not making the mistake of just following up from one angle. Our main VSL, our main angle, we get you X result. That's what everyone does. No company do you see a video from the founder saying, hey, I'm a real human being. I want to tell you about myself and why we love our customers. Just a video of them just talking, being real. People relate to different types of information in different ways. There's different personality types. This is one of the ways you reach them with communicating with a lot of different leads. And then real quickly, what you do is you find out from those 5 or 6 different variations, the 2 or 3 that convert your audience the most, and then you double down and split test on those.
How long do you recommend for videos?
Anywhere. The best copywriting angle for that is as long as you don't repeat yourself and have one continuous message, as long as you go for. In general, though, between 5 and 15 minutes is a good guideline. So something that I'm doing more of, and I do especially in content, is just the authenticity approach. Like me thinking through making a VSL on my story. I would just walk through my story and however long it takes. Of course, I write down points and guidelines and maybe run it through Claude and different things. But mainly, I just want to be so much myself and so real that what I'm saying is felt deeply. So I'm not going for it. It must be below 15 minutes. I have a guideline of I want it to be about between, like I said, 5 to 15, maybe 20. If it's beyond that a little bit, that's okay. What's most important is impact. And if you want to get super detailed and split testy, then you can split test watch time at different variations of full watch time in your videos. And then take out sections where watch time drops to increase watch time overall. So you'll still have around the same length video, but you can increase watch time, which will increase VSL watch time length, which will increase conversions and book call and whatever your goal
what
is.
software or analysis are you using to split test and analyze watch times?
I believe the one we use with John Crestani's was Vitalytics. Vitalytics is one. That's the only one that's coming up to my mind at this exact moment. But Vitalytics is one of the main ones you could use right now to split test watch time on VSLs.
Cool. This is amazing, by the way. One conversion metric worth watching closely.
I think if there's one or two, resellability. So literally, how many different offers can I get my prospect and lead and customers to buy? Because having someone who buys even high ticket, like agencies go, I sold my 10K a month offer. That's it. That's all I have. I just have that. You need 2 to 3. You need a master. You can have a mastermind. You can have consulting attached to your agency services. You could have a way you refer them to, like you do with your excellent done for you payment processing solution, a way to replace their NSP payment solutions. Check them out. Go buy. You could have that. You could have other things in ways you serve your customers that you aren't currently doing that would substantially increase LTV. That's really what it is LTV maxing. And you do that through different ways to serve your customers. Notice I said serve.
Nice. Last question is, what does it mean for you to sell more, to give more?
What it means to me is, it is a hard, good question. I had the answer right away when you first said it too. I think the number way to expand business's life is to give as much as possible. That is what is the most fulfilling way to act and be in this world, is to give. And that's the secret of life. It is not to get. People think that I want love, I want money, I want success, I want fame. It must come from something I get, a house, a girlfriend. Oh, I love my girlfriend. That's excellent. Please, yes, that's amazing. These different things. But how I feel love with my girlfriend is by me loving her. And whether it's going out to dinner with her, cooking with her, whether it's just existing, listening to music together, it's giving. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question as precisely as I could, but that is my essence. Is I love to give. I like to make people happy. That is what fulfills me and fulfills them. I need to give as much as humanly possible. So even like prospects and customers and leads, who, for example, say I have a phone call with, and they're never going to buy from me. There's no chance of them buying from me. It won't make sense for them, for me, or for anything. I'm still going to give to you. I'm going to go, hey, here's some stuff you can do to grow your business. It doesn't matter whether you work with me and it's not a ploy. It's not a ploy to get something later on down the line. Maybe if I give extra value, they'll buy from me later on because they don't like, no trust. It's an aspect you could think of it, but just giving endlessly because it fulfills me, it makes me happy, it makes your soul happy. It's good for the world. We need more giving.
I think you said a key word. It's fulfilling, right?
Yes.
And more than like the opposite of that, of the giving is taking or getting. Like you talked about, the secret of happiness and joy is the giving, the time, success, fame, love, money. Most people are trying to do the opposite, which is get,
absorb,
right?
get, take.
Right. It's
but
all about me.
What you give the world, it brings that back to you in a way or another. And the most important lesson, which is very difficult, is even if it doesn't, still being fulfilled and happy because I gave. So I can do X, Y, Z and give and nothing comes back, or even it even negatively hurts me. That's okay. I gave, and I know in my soul, I gave something to someone else with zero expectation back just to be helpful. That's what matters. That is what life is about, is giving and loving other people. We're getting real deep now. Giving and loving other people. Nothing else really matters. Business is great. I love business. And a way to give and love is to help businesses grow. That's what we do. Excellent. But really, giving and loving is the soul of life. That's where you are fulfilled. That's where business is meaningful. When I can go, hey, I actually helped this company because I gave them information, knowledge, help them automate X, Y, Z, and now their team is growing. They're happy. They're serving their customers. There's nothing better. So give, love. If you do that and people sense that in you and it's authentic, again, like I speak, is they sense that in you and you're being yourself, whatever version of that really is deep down, which is a whole nother conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Every part of life and business will become and be much better, happier, more fulfilling. This is a very difficult philosophy to follow. I don't always follow it myself, but I do my best.
That's amazing. That's a great segue to land the plane and today's podcast. Thank you guys for tuning into the Sales Ninja Show podcast. Now go apply what you learned to your next sales conversation and practice leading with clarity, calm, and service. Check out the DFY Done For You Growth Partnership. Book a call with the link in the show notes. If you are ready to master faith-driven sales psychology and close high-ticket sales with integrity, head over to gosalesninja.com. Book your free Sales Ninja audit call. Again, we're giving, we're loving to find the hidden gold in your business. We're here to help you sell with confidence and serve from a place of confidence. And serve from a place of purpose. Remember, your work is stewardship. Keep your eyes on God and stay faithful in the small steps. And we want you to both sell more, to give more. On behalf of Jon, myself, Jay, we will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks so much, Jon. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Massive.